Joining me now, my good friend Dale Bellis. He's the executive director and the founder of Liberty HealthShare. Now, Bernie Sanders is running around and other Democrats talking about national Medicaid for all and all that stuff. And it's a $32 trillion price tag, and it's kind of interesting debate to have, but it doesn't affect me. I mean, is this amazing? Like all this healthcare debate, like it has no impact on me or my family. And you say, why? What are you like? Over 65? No, I'm only 60. I'm not even concerned. Why? Because, see, 7 years ago, I made a choice to get out of the entire healthcare, Washington, D.C., swamp nests, rat race. Just get out. I got out. I withdrew. Now, doesn't mean I don't carry health for my family. I do the exact opposite. I have to have all the preventive care, and something happens, you have to be responsible. I'm a father. I'm a husband, right? But my wife and I sat down, and she says, I went out of this whole system. And we went 7 years ago. We talked to Dale, and we went to Liberty HealthShare. And we got out of the whole thing. And it was, the Obamacare. We had to pay the penalty and all that. We went with Liberty HealthShare 7 years ago. Did you ever make a decision, and it was like the best decision you ever made? I mean, this has been, I got to tell you, if you're not on this thing, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, if you're listening to me now and you're a federal or state worker, or you're with a big company and you get the Cadillac stuff and you're paying, 5 or 15% of it and all, that's fine. Stay with that. But if you're an entrepreneur, a businessman, you work on a 1099, you're in the gig economy, you work for a small company, you own a small company, any of the above, or the company you're with, you're paying through the teeth for all this stuff and all the paperwork, and you can't go here, you can only go there, go to that doctor, can't go to this doctor, all the rules and paperwork. If you're tired of that and you want to go to a system that's going to protect you and your family and you're in control and you have the power, then if you don't go to Liberty HealthShare, you're basically nuts, because this is a great company. 855-585-4237. 855-585-4237. Go to libertyhealthshare.org. Joining me now, my good friend, and we are friends because Liberty HealthShare is, when you're part of it, you're in a community. It's like a family. Everybody helping everyone else. It's really a beautiful thing. Great concept. Everybody's sharing in it. And I love being in it, and I love talking to my good friend Dale Bellis, who founded the company and now is the executive director. Dale, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be with you, John. Thanks for the invitation. And John, I must say, you're just a great American, my friend. You raise your voice every day against this effort and movement toward collectivization, socialization of America, particularly in this area of healthcare. And there is this contest of ideas, and I have committed myself to raise my voice against this effort, because it could very well be disastrous for the healthcare system of the U.S. We're not Canada. We're not Europe. And we just need to rely on our founding principles and resist this attempt to socialize medicine in America.
When you socialize medicine, here's what you're going to get, Dale. The first thing you're going to get is rationing, because doctors simply can't make their own decisions either. So nobody can make their own decisions now, right? Doctors can't. So what is going to happen is everybody's going to want to go to the doctor for everything because it's free, right? You pay nothing, no cope, nothing. It's all free. Everybody's going to want to go for a hangnail. There's going to be long lines. There's going to be rationing. And then the government is going to start to tell you what you can and can't do, Dale. That's the next step.
And the Mercatus Institute's expectation of $32 trillion, I think, is a conservative number for the very reason you've just cited. It will increase utilization, and physician reimbursements will have to increase because if it were a government-controlled system, and not to speak of the fact that it would be just socially disastrous. It's astonishing to me. The Red Cross in 2017 called the national health system in Britain a human disaster. It is a civil rights disaster, and we must raise our voices against that kind of effort. And I'm just glad, as you've said, you and I are out of that system, but I care deeply about the choices and opportunities and freedoms that we all have in healthcare, and we want to preserve them and exercise them.
And that's why Liberty HealthShare is such a great choice for you and your family. All you have to do is go to libertyhealthshare.org, get a quote, right? It's painless. It'll come back in several hours. And I'm telling you, when we first did it, we got our quote back after these outrageous amounts we were paying and fees and everything else. And Ann told me, my wife, for a family of three, was $500, $525, I think. I said, oh, well, it's because that's a typo. Either that, you're either reading it wrong, or you didn't put in our child as a dependent, or you didn't put the age in. You didn't do something right, because it's got to be a lot more than that, whatever the share is, but it isn't. And the thing with it is, it's like anything else. Once you change it and you get accustomed to it, you'll never go back, because it just gets you out of all that stuff. And now we have a network, not that we have to go to, but we have a doctor we go to, we have the hospital we go to, we have the pediatrician for my son, we have all that stuff. Now we have different things, preventative medicine. I've got the male doctor guy for my age and all that. But now they're all accustomed to it. Now, the first time you got to give them the card, they might not know what it is. They got to call the number, and that takes 15 or 20 minutes to get all resolved. But now, over time, Dale, what's happened is I just hand that to my physician's office. Like, I just went in the other day for the, annual checkup, preventative measure, which is covered under my share, and it's encouraged, because one thing Liberty HealthShare wants you to do is stay healthy, right? I mean, that's stay healthy, be in good shape, and do all the things you need to do, and part of that's preventive medicine. So 7 years ago, I had to give the card. They didn't know what it was, show them the number. Now, I just give them the card, that's it. I don't have to do anything, right?
And so what you've just pointed out, John, is the key feature that drives costs in healthcare is the sense, the buy-in that these are our dollars at stake. The principle that it comes from our pockets, you and I as members and the other members, are our pockets and the pockets of our fellow members, changes the consumption mentality at the counter, and truly does cause the cost curve to go downward, because we examine the costs, we evaluate the treatment plan, we eliminate unnecessary care, because it's our dollars at stake. And that's the fundamental principle that keeps healthcare sharing and Liberty HealthShare cost efficient.
Coupled with the fact that it's a family, Dale Bellis, and it's a community, because when I send in my share every month, which I'll tell everybody what it is, for a family of three, it's $550. When we send it in, we know exactly where it's going. I mean, it shows you right there, this $550 is going to your friend Joe Smith in Montana, who's getting a colonoscopy or something. You see exactly where it goes, because you're on a shared network, and everybody involved in it has a personal responsibility to not waste money, and to only go when you need to, but you also have the choice to pick whatever physician that you choose. That's why it's so excellent. Let me point something else out, Dale, if I may. May I?
Sure.
The number of my friends over the years who have talked about changing a job or a career, honestly, and in the conversation of evaluating it, they'll say, well, I really like to get this other company or do this other thing or open my own business, but, I lose my health coverage, or I don't like their health coverage versus that health coverage. I'd like to get this other job, but, their copay is higher. I mean, you're making decisions on the happiness of your life at work or whatever you want to do based on health coverage from a company in a system that is overspread and overcost anyway. That's insanity, right? If you go to Liberty HealthShare, you control your own health care. And so you can take that wherever you go. If I feel like opening up a new business or not opening up a business, or buying a company or not buying a company, or leaving a job or not leaving a job, or going to another company, or doing whatever I do, being an entrepreneur, whatever, I don't have to be concerned about, will my coverage follow me? Dale, that's crazy.
John, that is so insightful, and the point is immensely well taken. We exercise our healthcare freedom and control our own healthcare destiny. And that's the essence, is it not, of freedom in America, particularly as expressed in the care of our own individual health. It penetrates to some of the most personal and individual choices that we make in our entire lives. And you've just pointed out one facet of an individual's choices impacted by health care. And we just need to take back the control of the care of our health.
So my oldest son is 28 years old. His name is Jack. He's a college professor at the University of Nevada in Reno. So, he's in the university system and all that. So the other day he calls me up, Dale, and he says, "Hey, Dad, you're not going to believe what I did." I'm like, "Oh, my goodness, what?" He's like, "Look, I dropped my university insurance because they raised the copay to something. And there's a network of doctors that, there's none that are close to me because I live downtown, and I got to go out to a suburb. I don't want to do that. So I dropped it, and I just picked up Liberty HealthShare because I know you and Mom have been talking about it. And, single, 28, I'm in great health. I think he said he was paying Dale, I don't want to misquote it, but somewhere around $140. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Somewhere, yeah. I don't want to misquote it here in the air, but he says, yes, $140. And I just went in for a checkup, and he's like, "You guys have been talking about it. I thought you were crazy, but this is great." He says, "My copay at the university was $290 a month, and I couldn't even pick my own doctor. It's crazy." So you just picked up a new constituent in Nevada.
That is a thrill to hear. I'd love to chat with him about it someday. But that is the kind of options and choices and freedom that we all have opportunity to exercise. And frankly, we're not subject to the open enrollment period, John. Anybody can join us anytime, throughout the course of the year, and just drop out of the system, as you frequently refer to it, and just simply come join us.
It's about freedom of choice. And by the way, Dale, my son, who just picked up Liberty HealthShare in Nevada, is a Bernie Sanders supporter and voter and precinct worker. So there you go.
I want to be at your Thanksgiving table.
It's
exciting and fascinating.
It's a lot of ruckus going on there. That's why when we all get together, we stick to talking about the Astros and baseball and try to get away from politics for a little while because it doesn't go very well. All right, Dale, thank you. Hey, go to Liberty HealthShare, 855-585-4237, libertyhealthshare.org. Liberty Health, just ask for a quote. It's going to knock your socks off. And then, like so many others, you're going to text me and you're going to say, "JF, man, I love you. I love Liberty HealthShare." And they're going to say, "JF, J. Fred, you're right again." Look, I give the facts. That's why they call me the Godzilla of the truth in America. Dale, thanks for being with us.